Kid, how old are you?
I'm 35.
Oh, well, even at 40, I feel older than he is. Do you know I'm older than Google? Does that blow your mind?
Yeah, that's what you said that. You mentioned that.
How old is Google?
Google started in 98.
Is it 98?
Yeah. 98 in a garage in
much
Palo
older than Google
Alto.
also.
Yeah. I saw a meme about that where they were like telling their kids that they were older than Google, and the kids didn't believe
like,
them.
what?
Yeah, I'm going to try that on my kids on Sunday.
How many kids do you have?
I have two stepkids.
Okay.
14 and 9. So the 14-year-old's the one at Hamilton.
Mm.
You know, and she's got a killer voice. She actually had her second concert of the year last night.
Oh, yeah?
Did real good.
That's awesome.
She should have gotten a solo.
Yeah.
That means,
Well, you said she's 14, so is she a freshman?
She's a freshman, yeah.
Okay, so she got
So
4 years, man.
She's just in choir, or is she doing any other music programs?
She's actually in advanced choir.
That's
And
awesome.
then she's in dance.
Oh, cool.
There's really, like, I want to put her into the music school in Chandler. I've heard it's good, but there's just no time with homework and everything. You know,
Yeah, it gets crazy in high school.
I'm surprised any of these schools still have a music program. Like
I was really surprised. I mean, I was like shocked. I mean, honestly, because like when I was there, I thought it was like dwindling.
Yeah.
You know, I actually finished my last couple of years of high school. I was in theater.
What school did you go to? Were you in Mesa, or where were you at?
Well, I was. I tested out early, but I was in Agua Fria.
Oh, that's what you said. You graduated 2 years early, huh?
Yeah. So, but Agua Fria is like, it ranks like, if there was like 7,000 schools in the country, it's like 7,005. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Like Coldwater, is that what that is? Coldwater High School.
I used to call it Coldwater High because I thought that was a cooler name than Agua Fria. No offense to the folks from Arizona. I mean, I'm not from here, but Coldwater High, I'm like, I dig it. But no, Agua Fria was it was a shit show.
Yeah. Well, Chandler and Gilbert are like way into the arts.
Yeah.
They're like way in Mesa too, actually. Mesa's got some pretty good music programs.
Well, at the time of Coldwater High, no, Agua Fria was actually, they were kind of artsy, but it was like right after I left. And honestly, what happened with me is you know, I got to the point where I was so bored, like I felt like I was actually going to fail out. So I tested out to a program through the Maricopa College.
Oh, that's kind of cool that you could do that.
It actually stuck me into an alternative school, but I didn't care because it was tied with the colleges.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, like within a year, I was gone. You know, because school got out at like 1:30, and I would spend the next 2 hours in the lab doing electives.
That's cool, though.
I studied political science.
Wow. Well, you were really bored.
I just wanted to get the hell out.
Political
You know?
science.
And actually, at the time, I was actually playing. I was playing rhythm in an alternative band.
There you go.
It's called Epidemic.
That's a very alternative.
That's a very
name.
alternative. I was gonna say, and you and like 12 other bands. Could you just imagine if you're on Spotify? Like, shit, there's like 7 more of us.
Well, you got to figure this is also like '96,
Right,
and
right.
every one of us looked like a wannabe, like Kurt Cobain. clone.
Yeah.
Actually, the guy who was the lead singer of our band was kind of like Kurt Cobain, kind of a spaz. He actually ended up hitting someone. I was out of state at the time, but he actually got into a head-on accident. He was really out there. I'm actually partially deaf because of this guy. But we were at a rehearsal, and he's got the soundboard up here, and he's like adjusting everything with his foot, and I'm like, what the frig are you doing?
Why your foot, dude?
You know, and we got the speakers right here. Well, I hit one string, and
boom,
and I'm like bleeding out of my
It's like
ear.
Back to the Future at Doc Brown's
Throw you
house kind of
across the
thing.
room.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that would kill you, but but yeah, like I'm literally like, you know, bleeding. I can't hear. Like I ruptured my eardrum, so I've always had hearing issues.
Dang, dude, that was pretty brutal.
Well, you know what the worst thing is I tell people all the time, like, okay, so my hearing was a little whacked at that point. This is like '96 when that happened. Now, all the years on stage, you figure you got monitors, right? My hearing wasn't so bad. When my hearing got bad, it was when I started recording off stage.
Yeah.
So I actually have to carry earbuds now.
Oh yeah, no, I got some really expensive earplugs that.
Yeah, mine are $20, dude. That's all.
Yeah, I think I spent. When I say really expensive, I mean for earplugs, they're like $150.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
I just throw mine out every few
they're
months.
they're like molded to my ears, and they actually have these filters in them that they actually
they let all frequencies in equally, so
Yeah.
that like it's not all muffled.
Yeah, exactly. Like we could sit here and have a conversation. There could be like a ridiculous loud, like 110 decibel PA going on in the background, and we'd still be able to talk, and I'd be able to hear you.
I think that you got the nicer version of what I have because mine actually have a filter in them too.
Okay, yeah,
So,
I know there's some like
it's called earpiece is what it is.
Okay, there's like another company like called like Ear Angels or some shit like that.
It's probably all relative. Yeah, but like these bring them down like 20 or 30 decibels.
Yeah,
so
mine's
I can be right against the speakers and like I can hear you.
Yep,
everything's clear, but it's let's say you're pulling 120 decibel at the stage. I'm getting like 80 of it. So
yeah,
90 or whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome because we had a. What do they call them? Oral doctor or whatever you want to call them, like whoever.
Urologist.
Areola. That's a nipple, but okay.
Okay.
But anyways, we like when I was in drumline when I was in high school, right?
Yeah,
I also taught drumline after I got done with high school. And we had one of those doctors, an areologist or whatever the fuck it was. But they came out and they...
Are their instruments pink?
Yeah, right. They came out and they actually brought one of the decibel meters, right? You know, back before you just had one on your phone, they had like the fancy one that you could like.
Yeah.
And they had it right in front of the drum line when they were warming up and stuff like that. And they're like, okay, cool. So, you know, just being in this for 8 minutes, you're causing yourself permanent hearing damage if you're not listening. If you're not using any kind of, it was just like, oh, that's cool. Maybe that's. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the After Hours podcast. We appreciate you more than you will ever know. Right now, we are trying to build up our YouTube page, and we need your help. If you could please go on YouTube and click on the magnifying glass, type in Donny Grubb Band, click subscribe, click the bell icon, and click on all. It would really help us out a lot. Again, we thank you for everything that you do, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for helping us out. Cool. Maybe that's why I'm missing a whole mid-range of frequencies in my ears.
Yeah.
This is set to 90. As soon as it breaks 90, it tells me now.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. What's that app? I want to know what that is.
I don't know. It came with the last update, and with the iWatch, and I just tweaked it to 90 and said, just tell me when it's 90 decibels.
Really?
I didn't even know there was a thing like that. What is that called?
Oh, all three of us? Man, we're all assholes.
There was a new update?
Yeah, there's been 2 updates.
Well, I just want to know what that...
there's a new app. I don't know what...
please tell me what it is because that sounds amazing. Like, I need to know this stuff because I don't want to be like, 50 and not be able to hear anybody,
Well, trust me, I'm using the EKG.
Look at us go. We're doing this on the podcast.
I'm doing my update right now so I can do this.
I'm going to have to...
we could get back to this. We don't have to be doing this.
It says to find people, but it says we're in AJ and nobody's here.
I'm right here, though. I'm talking to you right across the way.
It's called Noise.
I just realized
there's an app called Noise on here?
Yeah, and it registers the decibel rate.
Wow, I don't see an app called Noise.
Wow, that's cool.
See?
What does it look like?
It says Kit is too loud.
I am.
It just turned yellow. For real.
Is this like an app that you downloaded?
No, it's like part of the Apple package. So in the last update.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I got all excited when I got that because I can't hear. So I'm like, hey, cool. Somebody can warn me.
That is awesome.
I got to see a list view because I have no idea what the Noise app is. I've never even seen that.
There's apps on here I didn't even know were on here.
Right? Oh, my God. I can use this thing so much better now. I don't see Noise.
Should we instead of doing a podcast, should we do a box opening of the Apple Watch 5?
Right. But it's already used, so it's got like your nasty-ass like skin on there and shit.
The Apple Watch 5, folks. There it is.
That's the 5. Mine's 3.
This is what it looks like on the back of a guy who spends way too much at the shows.
Which one is this?
You really have one? I think yours is a 3 also.
Mine's a 4, yeah. I'm getting ready to trade this in for the... I actually waited specifically till the 4 because there's certain features when it comes to like your heart and stuff.
Yeah, no, they got an actual EKG on there.
I kind of need that.
Yeah? You got some heart issues?
That's what they tell me.
That's what.
Actually, what it is, it's more like the last time I was there, they were telling me how it looks like I have issues, and they're like, we want you to buy this cuff, and we want you to like check your blood pressure throughout the day, your heart rate and everything like that, and then come back in a week. Okay, so that's been 13 months, and I haven't gone back.
Wow.
I don't do doctors.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean,
I'm not a huge fan
Like
of them
people-
either.
people-
That's why
like
dudes
people
like
look
us
at
die
this.
too soon.
that's a scar.
What the hell is that?
It's a scar.
A scar of what?
It was a, I think it was a cactus needle or a bee stinger or something. So I got whatever it was. It happened when I was about 22, 21 years old in my backyard. So every few years I have to go get it cut out.
Dude, it looks like you could like pump up your shoes with that thing.
I know, but but I don't do doctors. So, like, honestly, if somebody had a sharp enough knife and a big bottle of whiskey, I would just cut.
Oh
off
hell,
the
let's
damn self.
do it right now.
No, God, no.
Why? I
Why?
want to see what's in that
Oh,
thing.
have fun. I'm going to look away. I'm
No,
going to
you
go to
gotta-
the
but you have
bathroom
to
or
have-
something.
You have to have one of those knives that they use as surgery knives.
Scalpel?
Got to have a scalpel.
There's a kitchen here. We got something.
I don't know if Mo would appreciate
I
that.
was going to say, I bet you that was fantastic for everybody out there.
So hopefully after this airs, it's after the last food inspection.
Right.
What's that? That's Eddie Smith's DNA over there.
Well, hell.
Honey Grubb, Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I'm tired.
I'm tired too. It's like there's a lot of squirrels in this room.
It is. Well, this is the After Hours podcast. It is 2:00, so.
Is it 2:00 already?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Oh my God! You talk a lot, Kit.
I do.
Yeah, he does.
I just can't shut up.
I
I'm a
listen to
chatty
this.
Cathy.
I listen to this all night long.
Do you really?
Yeah, all night.
I feel like you just kind of zone
I
out,
bet you-
actually.
I bet
do.
you if you hadn't said anything, we probably could have kept going for a while.
Most of the time on the podcast, I'm pretty sure Donnie's over here just like,
Can you please shut up?
right? He's just like, man, I'm just here to like
Well,
make Kit happy.
I'll have to tell you though, I've been following the podcast, and the Ashley Wineland one's one of my favorites already. But I did you tell him when? So Donnie contacted me the other day, and he's like, "Hey, you want to be on the podcast?" I'm like, "Dude, it looks like a lot of fun. Can I have beer?" And he's like, "Sure." I'm like, "Okay, who's the guest?" He's like, "You." And the thing is like it was at that moment, and my wife looks at me like I'm a dumbass. So I texted her, and she comes home and I tell the story. She's like, "You're a dumbass." And like after all the years, like I'm like I don't think that way. I'm like I thought I was just coming to kind of hang out and watch.
Well, that's kind of the way we've established this, to kind of make it a hang as opposed to just being hey, tell us about your life. Where are you, where do you see yourself in 10 years,
I feel like you got in my head, because I can't wait to start ours. And, you see a lot of them out there failing just because they're so freaking stiff and they're so boring.
That's me. I'm the stiff guy.
That's why we work.
So stiff guy. So he's the straight man.
He's the straight, and
I'm very straight man.
I'm off the fucking wall. I say the F word, and he tries to say it, and it's just cute.
You know what's actually interesting? So I could tell you something like the really good chance. I'm just gonna move on from that because if I go into that, I'm like we're gonna stay on that for a minute. But in terms of the swearing and everything, so YouTube, I actually know a few YouTubers out there that have been very successful, and I got one that actually has it's called Agenda-Free TV, but it's like a
Gender-free TV.
agenda.
See, I heard the same thing.
Okay,
Like,
I
what
was
the
really
hell
kind
are
of
you watching?
like, is this like gender fluid here? Is that what we're going
It's
with?
2 o'clock in the morning. I'm drinking Red Bull.
Fair enough. Red Bull
Bull.
and Miller Lite.
Miller Lite.
You're on fucking fire right now.
But anyway, so he's got like this news network where it's like it's like there's no agenda. It's not left or right or anything, which is kind of cool. But I've been encouraging him to start like a vlog, and I had mentioned it to him a few times, and then he kind of ran off with it. Like I think I'm trying to remember if I mentioned it to him 6-8 months ago, and it feels like he never pays any attention to me anyway. But he comes up with the idea. He comes up with the idea. I'm like, finally go. So I've been like laying out donations, like in the super chats and everything. I'm like, dude, do it, and he's got himself a nice setup. So happy for this guy, but he like literally will vlog himself cleaning. Yeah. But
That's a good idea,
But he's
though.
got such a personality for it, people. Like so, he like literally he announced that he was going to do it. On his main channel, which has over 200,000 subscribers.
That's awesome.
And then so he does his first stream on this other channel, and it's called the Lookner channel. And within the first 5 minutes, he's got 1,500 subscribers. 5 minutes later, he's got 2,000 subscribers. I'm like, how the hell is he fucking doing? So, and then I realized that every episode, the guy says, fuck. a lot, and I'm like, how is he getting away? So how are you going to get away with
like
this?
monetizing and all that shit? Yeah.
Well, so I patron him, so I'm on we're on Patreon, my company too, like as for creating on YouTube. So he does this like monthly chat.
Mm-hmm.
And as it turns out, I never even bothered to look into it. YouTube doesn't care if you swear, just not in excess. So when you put this on YouTube, just because we swear, we're fine. But if you're like ridiculously out of control, like to the point where like Howard Stern would be annoyed, then yes, they're going to flag you and demonetize the video.
Yep.
But I had no idea, so like in my confessions video at the beginning of the year, my Vegas one, I don't know if you guys ever caught that, but when I shot that, I was swearing towards it, but I just bleeped myself out.
Yeah.
Hell, if I knew that, I would have spent the time looking for the sound effect. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to get demonetized. I don't want anyone to flag me. Come on, I need you guys to pay me, so, but
yeah. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? This is Kit from the After Hours Podcast. You may be asking yourself, why do we call this a podcast if I'm watching this on YouTube or even Facebook? Well, the answer is you can actually listen to us while you're driving or while you're flying or while you're swimming or even while you're working out. A lot of people like it this way because they don't have to look at our ugly mugs. The way to do this is that you click on the app that's called Podcast if you're using an Apple product. Once you're inside the app, you just click at the bottom where it says search. Type Donny Grubb Band into the search bar that shows up at the top. Then once After Hours with the Donny Grubb Band shows up, click on subscribe. And then you will be subscribed to the After Hours with the Donny Grubb Band podcast. So now anytime that we release a new podcast, you should get a notification and you should be able to find it really easily so that you can listen to it in your day-to-day events. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate you guys.